Hello, my caffeinated friends. Dawn Robles here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to share with you how to make this beautiful card. Now, I wish I could say that this was my creation, but it's not. I'm casing it from my teammate, Leanne Skinner. It took my breath away, and I thought I have to recreate it. Now, I did put my own spin on it, like we always do when we case, but the design is hers. So I made a couple of different versions. I made, of course, a couple of lighthouses, and then I made one using the Geared Up Garage, which you can find this set in our annual catalog. So let's go ahead and get started today. Now, I did use the Sailing Home out of our mini catalog and the High Tide stamp set using our out of our annual catalog. So I did use stamps out of both sets of here, and I also used the dies to cut the lighthouse out of this one as well. So some of the supplies you're going to need, of course, is a piece of Night and Navy cardstock cut at 8.5 by 5.5. Score that at 4 1/4. You're going to need a piece of Sahara sand cut at 4 by 5 1/4. For the inside of your card, I cut another piece at 4 by 5 1/4, and I went ahead and stamped the sailboat at the bottom of it here. For your scenery, you're going to need a piece of 3 3/4 by 5. Another piece of Sahara sand cut 3 by 3. And of course your DSP that will be cut at 4 by 4. So let's go ahead and work on our scenery first. Let me put this out of the way here. Bring in a scrap piece of paper so I don't mess up my workstation. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start by sponging with some balmy blue. Now, there's no right or wrong way to sponge. Some people like sponges, some people like the finger daubers, some people like the makeup brushes, which I do love those as well. But for today, I'm just going to go ahead and use a finger dauber. And you always want to start when you start. You want to start off the paper and work your way on. And right now I'm just creating the blue sky background. And you want to work in a circular motion and with a light hand. If you go real heavy, you're just going to get more blotches, kind of like I did right there. And I'm a wildflower kind of girl, so I don't like everything even and nice and perfect. So you're going to see with me, you'll see different, dark in some spots, real light in others. It's just the look I like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to stamp my water down here. So I'm going to make this just a little bit darker down here. Okay, so I'm done with sponging, but I'm going to go ahead and create my waves in the water. And I used the waves in the High Tide set. I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp over where I made it a little bit darker down there. Give it a good press, pull straight up. Then I'm going to do the same thing, just moving the stamp over a little bit. And there's my waves. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Sahara sand, and I'm going to stamp the sand that is also out of the High Tide. So I'm just going to ink up my sand. I'm going to come towards the bottom of my page here, give it a good press, ink it up again. This time I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to kind of overlap a little bit. Whoa, flying away. And then just kind of fill in my voids right there. part right here I'm not going to worry about because our lighthouse is going to cover that. So I'll just go ahead and pick up my sponge again and just kind of make sure that my water is touching the sand. There we go. Easy peasy, right? And beautiful. Okay, so pretty much our scenery is done. I will add birds, but I will wait until I get the centerpiece done here. Oh, you know what? We need to do the grass. So let's go ahead and use our old olive as I just stick my finger right in there. Lovely. And the grass is also from the High Tide set. I'm just using a little bit of old olive, and I'll just kind of sporadically place those grass. I think that looks really good. Then I'll go ahead and stamp the center of my centerpiece, center of the centerpiece. I'm just going to ink the compass. The compass is actually out of the sailing home. I'm going to ink that up and stamp that on a piece of scrap Whisper White. And I like it's nice and light because I'm going to come over that at the navy blue, and I'm just going to put the sentiment thanks. Very nice. Okay, and then what I would do there, and you'd also need to stamp the lighthouse, which I already done, and die cut, and that is also out of the Sailing Home set. So what I would do is I would take a piece of Night of Navy and my Whisper White, and I used my layering squares, but you don't have to do that. I just thought I would get a easier, more even cut that way, and then I just cut it out at a diamond shape. And this is what it gave me. So I can adhere these two pieces together like so. Okay, so I'll put those to the side, and I will bring in, let's move these out of the way here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my 4x4 DSP, and I'm going to bring my scoreboard in. And I'm going to lightly score it at 2 inches. You don't need to make a heavy score line, just a light one so you can see what you're doing. And remember to use your scoring tool and not your cutting tool, because I've done that a time or 2 or 5. And then I'm going to turn that one turn. I'm going to line it up at the 2 inch again, and I'm going to score that again. Okay. Now, for me, this is not this part is not necessary, but I am a little bit blind, so I kind of gonna mark my points so I know where my lines are. I'm so sorry, but my eyes are not what they used to be. So I'm just going to fold that point over. I'm going to line it up on the score lines and make sure it's lined up. And give this a press. Okay, we're lined up there, and then just go ahead and press that down. And of course I lost my bone folder, so I'll just grab another one. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to take that to the center, making sure I line up with my score lines. And you don't have to burnish super hard. Probably went a little crazy on that, but put my finger here, fold to the middle. And see how you are nice and lined up. And I'll do it again this here, fold it down. This one I got off just a tiny hair. Bring that down. Okay, so now we've got the fold. We're going to go ahead and attach that to our 3x3 piece. Now, I like to use the Tombow. That way I can manipulate my paper where I want it to be. Okay. Just lay that down and get a nice border all the way around, nice even border. And that's the great thing about the liquid glue. You can kind of move it when you need it, where you need it. Give that a good press and give it a second to dry. And then we'll go ahead and bend this point to the center of that. Just kind of fold it over and give it a press. Give it a press. Just do that on all 4 sides. And there you have it. Pretty cool, right? So what we're going to do is glue these 2 pieces, our greeting, our sentiment, to our Night of Navy, and then we're just going to pop that right on in there. So, oops, don't want to glue that yet. We're going to go ahead and glue that. Looks like it's time to add a little Tombow to my order here. Okay, now this will fit right in there. You have 2 options. You can not glue this down and leave it pop up like that, or for mailing, if you want it more flat, you can go ahead and glue it down. So what I did is I only glued like 2 sides down so I could still fit my centerpiece in. And then I'll throw in my center sentiment, and then I'll glue the other 2 pieces down. But I won't glue these down. I think I'll leave them, well, we'll see. That way I can get a nice fit here, like so. And then I'll go back and glue the other 2 down. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and use a little Tombow for this. That way I can slide it where I need it to be. Ahead and fold those down. Slide that where I want it to be. See, that's why I like that Tombow. There we go. So I think that looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these 2 sides down. And then you can either leave your tabs popped up, or you can go ahead and glue them down. Now I just took a glue dot, I think, and I'll just glue those on down. Like so. It's been a crazy, crazy day. Working at home and then homeschooling the 3 kids and all the other good stuff that goes along with it. It's just been crazy. How about you guys? How's your days been going? Hopefully you're all keeping busy. So we have that. Now we can go ahead and adhere our background scene here to our Sahara sand. Just go ahead and attach that stuff real quick. Nice, 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 nice. Go ahead and bring in my Night of Navy cardstock. And I'm going to attach my seam to the Night of Navy. I can't even glue in a straight line today. Hi, yi, yi. It's getting crazy over here, people. Okay. It's looking beautiful already, huh? So now we're going to go ahead and attach our centerpiece right to the card. And again, I will use Tombow so I can squirm it around where I want it. Scoot it around. Okay. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and add birds up here. I thought it needed a little something, so I'll bring in my Memento ink. And I will bring my birds in, and these are from the Sailing Home Bundle. Make sure you get it nice and inked up. I'm just going to add some birds right there. Pretty. The last few things we need to do is we'll go ahead and attach our inside piece. Okay. Pretty, huh? And then we're just going to attach our lighthouse right down here. Just go ahead and get that attached. And we will use Stampin' Dimensionals. Put one in the center and one in the bottom. And I think we'll use a mini dimensional on the side of the lighthouse here to kind of help. So you see one on the side, because this is built up already. It'll just kind of anchor it down. Okay. There we go. There is our completed card. Now, very simple, beautiful, and nice masculine card for someone. You can use all kinds of different sentiments, a thank you or whatever. If you'd like to order any of the supplies here, I will put a link below to my online store. And you can always contact me at caffeinatedcraftlady@yahoo.com, or you can visit my online store at caffeinatedcraftlady.stampinup.net. Look forward to hearing from every one of you. Have a great day, everyone.